My name is Oriel Blanche, creator of the Magic Sunglasses program, developing real self-confidence in kids. Part 1 of the program, the Real Me workshop, focuses on kids discovering their inner strength, the unlimited potential in their natural gifts and talents, and feeling good and confident about themselves as a result. Stage 2 deals with kids finding practical inspiration from role models, successful people who've led the way. How did they do it? A kid might ask themselves, did this successful person start off as an ordinary person just like me, or were they always special some way? Could I ever be anywhere near as successful as they are? First we hear from kids as to who their role models are and why. Then we hear how they think role models can practically inspire them to achieve way beyond what they ever thought was possible. The ethos of the Olympics, excellence, and being the best they can be. Next, the kids can interview and learn from role models themselves, locally, nationally, and perhaps even internationally. The resulting video clips can then be coordinated and used to inspire and inform other kids around the country. These kids in turn then can conduct their own interviews and all be part of a wonderful practical memorial of our glorious Olympics 2012. Here are a few video clips to give you the idea. Isabella, what is a role model for you?
A role model is someone that I look up to and I think is very good and is very important and has changed the world maybe.
Okay, well that sounds pretty good. What are some examples of role models in the world that you hear of, before you tell us who your favourites are?
Well, an example of a role model for someone could be maybe Martin Luther King.
Yes. Sports people, doctors, people like that.
I'm not really sure. At the moment maybe Mary Curie for a doctor and scientist.
And other people living now, because I think those people are dead, aren't they?
Yes. Maybe.
Doesn't matter. We could think of things later. Are there any sports people that you think are good at what they do and a good example?
Usain Bolt.
Okay.
He's a really, really good runner, I think.
Okay, because we've got the Olympics coming up, haven't we? And one of the things about the Olympics, I think, is that it focuses on excellence and people reaching for their goals more than they thought they could do.
Yeah, and I think the motto for this one is called faster, higher and stronger.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel excited and something you might want to do?
Yeah, it makes me feel excited, and also the Paralympics are going to be really big as well. And
what is great about the Paralympics?
I think the Paralympics is really cool because it shows that anybody can do it. It's like even if maybe you're disabled, doesn't mean you still can't be good at sport. You still can't do what you love.
Absolutely. Who are your favourite role models, and why do you like them? Why do you choose them?
I did J.K. Rowling. Because I thought that she's such a good writer, and she really thought about the story that Harry Potter that she wrote, and she made it really, really good, and now she's very, very successful. And I think if you just work really hard at something and give focus to it, then you can be successful.
Yeah, so is that what you think you can learn from role models? Anything else you can learn?
You could probably learn that you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
Absolutely. Would you like to meet, the ones that are alive that is, any of your role models and ask them how they became so successful and all the problems they had to overcome?
Yes, I would, because it kind of shows that, even if they were in a tough time, they still made it through.
And why do you think they still made it through even though they had a tough time?
Because I think they just didn't stop believing that they could do it, and they they did it.
Okay. What about any particular role models? You've talked about J.K. Rowling. Do you have any family or friend role models?
Well, I have my dad, because he studies really hard.
Yep.
And he's been learning French, and now he's really good at it, and he's been doing it for nearly 4 years, and he's set his mind to it, and he does it a lot, and he's really, really good.
So what would you learn from that, the fact that your dad studies hard and does that?
If you set your mind to something, you can achieve it.
Okay, thank you, Bella, very much. Thank you. We're going to start off with asking, what is a role model? Have you any idea?
A role model is a person you admire and look forward for tips.
Okay. What about you, Ali? What do you think? Do you think that's
It's a person that you look up to,
yeah.
You want to copy almost everything they do and be like them.
Okay, well I think that sounds a pretty good definition. So, what are some examples of role models?
My role model would be Jacqueline Wilson, because she's a really amazing writer and she can make you feel the character's feelings.
Okay. Ali, what role models have you got?
One of my role models is Alfred Nobel.
Right.
And he was surprisingly actually the inventor of dynamite.
Wow.
He meant for it to be used for mining, for the purposes of mining only, but they ended up using it for wars. So to correct his mistakes, he invented the Nobel Prize.
Fantastic. What about you, Zara? Would you like to meet any of your role models and ask them how they got so successful?
Yeah, I really would, because then if I do, then I can try and be like them. Because if I know how they became famous, then I can follow in their footsteps.
Okay. And do you think that role models start off as being somebody the same as you guys, or do you think they're somebody different, really?
I think they do. They always start off as just a normal person.
Yeah.
And then they do something, which is their claim to fame, really.
So what do you think happens to role models when they fail? If they fail?
They try harder and try and do it better.
Absolutely. I think one of the things I read, the most important thing about successful people is persistence, which means they keep going, they never give up. Now we're going to talk about other role models closer to home. What about family and friends? Do you have any friends or family who are role models for you, Zara?
Well, I have a friend that's a role model, and her name's Emma, and she's my role model because she's always there for her friends, and she's...
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's a great thing to be there for your friends. Do you have any family or friend role models, Ali?
Well, one of my family role models is my Uncle Jeff, because he was kicked out of his house by his drug addict mother and alcohol addict father at the age of 16.
Well, how is he a role model for you then?
Well, it just shows, you don't have to have someone backing you all the time to, get a good job and have money.
So really, he just went out there and did it, whatever, even though he didn't have much.
Yeah,
that's great. And have you got any friends who are role models?
Yeah.
Who's that?
One of my friends, Jude.
Right.
He's 13.
Right.
But he's a really good musician. And what he's actually done is he has composed music and sold it.
That is fantastic.
And he's only 13.
That is pretty good going. So just to end up with, what do you think you'd like to do? I know you told me once before that you've been thinking about jobs you might do when you leave school or university. So is there anything you would like to achieve, which perhaps is quite a big thing to achieve, where role models could help?
Yeah.
Are you going to share with us what that is?
A world famous scientist.
A world famous scientist. In what area of science?
Physics.
Physics. Okay, and who would be your role model for that?
Probably Albert Einstein.
Yeah, well, that's good. You can read about him, I suppose, even though he's not with us anymore. Okay, thanks, Annie. Sarah, is there anything that you'd really love to do, a big thing that you might be a bit scared of doing?
Being an actress.
Being an actress. And so who would be your role model there to help you achieve that, you could learn from?
Colin Firth and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay, well, very good role models too. Right, we've got Ali and Tahir now, and we're going to talk to them about role models, another point of view. Right, Tahir, what is a role model to you?
To me, a role model is somebody who inspires me or teaches me something new. So in the workspace, a role model to me would be somebody who's a mentor. So somebody I kind of look up to that can help me grow and develop and, you know, be more.
And what role models can you think of at the moment in the world?
I'd say, you know, over the, you know, maybe the past few generations, you know, some of the leaders that we've had. So I'd say currently probably somebody like Obama is very inspirational for, you know, a great many people.
Yeah.
You know, Gandhi many years ago. So you know, they've made massive changes in terms of culture and community and really inspired millions of people.
Do you think that role models are important for children to learn how people can be successful and to see how they overcame problems on their journey to wherever they were going?
Absolutely.
Do you think it's of value?
No, absolutely. I think the main thing for children is, one, they can see that these role models were no different from them, you know, from where they've come from, what kind of experiences they had as children, but they managed to break away from that or move away from that and be inspirational for a whole generation of children.
So do you have any family role models?
I'd say when I was growing up, my grandfather was a great role model for me. So he was, you know, keen traveler. He grew up in India, moved to Pakistan. He was a doctor. I always remember him being very, you know, very elegant in terms of how he looked, how he dressed, and, you know, very professional. And always, you know, the big thing was he was always very kind.
And do you think it could make a big difference to children if they're able to meet some of their role models and actually find out from them what they did?
Yeah, I think it'd be really helpful for them to understand the journey that they've gone through to get to where they are. You know, it's not easy, it's hard work, it's commitment and perseverance from those people to get to where they've been. So I think it'd be a great inspiration for the kids.
And also, I mean, this is, I think, where we started from, talking about role models at the beginning. Are they someone just like you? Can you identify with them? Which makes it possible that you could do that as well. Okay, thank you, Tahir, very much, and thank you for your support, Adi. Let's make practically empowering kids and getting them working with role models a global initiative, starting right here with the Olympics 2012. Parents, would your children like to be part of this Olympic-inspired role model initiative? If so, please email us at rolemodels@themagicsunglasses.com. Head teachers, would your school like to be part of this Olympic-inspired global initiative? If so, please contact us at rolemodels@themagicsunglasses.com.